Is it a good thing or a bad thing when your kids are like you? Let's figure it out. Hello! I'm Jekyll Jaws, dad extraordinaire, doing the same thing everybody else is doing, keeping my nose just above water while making it look like I'm totally fine. So, fresh off the presses, this one I guess I'm calling Just Like Dad. And for the record, most of the stuff that I share with you is my internal struggle. And my internal struggle is always louder and kind of hyperbolized compared to the rest of reality. All these deep, weird emotions are starting to make it sound like I'm this crazy person. But it's just crazy on the inside. No one's in danger. So here we go. I rage inside when I see inside of you the pieces of me. When you lose control and you start to scream, I hear myself. I'm sorry that you had no choice in the parent whose big mouth gave you a voice, all the wailing and gnashing of teeth. I gave you those too. Not to bite down and gnaw on your family's heads, but to rip into evil and to tear it to shreds, in a world made of monsters and men. Sometimes we choose both. You know you're just like your dad, the way you lose your mind like you do. I guess that the apple doesn't fall far from the knobby, crooked tree. But I see deeply inside of you when the fog rolls away, and I see past all the garbage I project every day, and I finally see who you are and who you could be. You're doing your best, dodging the worst of me that tries to eat you alive. But I promise there is still honor in these claws of mine. I'll stop throwing my hands up like a damned hypocrite when I'm constantly telling you don't give up and never quit. I'll leave to shut the beast away, but I'll always come back. Look forward to watching the king of the wild things grow up, see the way he sees darkness and has to stand up. We'll destroy it with all that I've taught and all that he's got. Because there's one day when the sting will fade away and the hope of forgiveness finally chooses to stay, and my careless emotional trash will be a ghost of fatherless past. You know, you're not like your dad, the way you learn from mistakes like you do. I guess good soil is more important than where you come from. I'm filled with pride when I see inside of you the pieces of me. Injustice arrives, and you start to scream, and I hear myself. So my gracious mother-in-law took me and the family out to Denny's, one of the only places I can eat at because I have Crohn's, and most of the things you're told to eat because they're healthy for you can kill me. So we go there, and my kids are a little loose and wild. They're a little more pumped up and filled with character than usual because they went back to school a few days ago. Like usual, my son is getting a little wound up because he's got people to show off to. Strike one. I always did that, and I still kind of do that. So we go in there, and everything's good. We're trying to be quiet because there's this couple that is sitting back to back to our booth, and I just don't want to be rude to them. So I'm trying to keep Max quiet. Excuse me. And then there comes a point where they're playing with the baby. My wife's like making him dance, and it is making my oldest son explode with laughter. He could not contain himself, and I honestly have never heard anyone laugh that loud in my entire life. And I was really tense up until that point. But then suddenly this weird balance shift happened where my brain was consciously aware of how much I cared that other people weren't being bothered. But then the deep laughter, even though it was like a little hard on the ears, outweighed how much I cared about other people. And for that one moment, I started smiling. I couldn't help it. And he reminded me of myself there too, so strike two. Though we get done, all kinds of hilarity ensues. But as we're leaving, we step out, and in the parking lot, Max starts to walk away in a direction he's not supposed to, something like that. And my wife calls him back, and he like mischievously looks to the side and then zips away in this weird lanky way. And everyone suddenly says that he's acting and looks just like me. And he was. So strike three, you're out. I couldn't decide whether I liked that or if I didn't like it. And I'm still really trying to pin down why my son seeming like me bothers me. I wonder if it's like a I don't love myself thing, and when I see him being like me, I hate the parts of myself I see in him. It's not fair in any way whatsoever. But honestly, I'm kind of happy. And I hope that he stays growing that way. Because it seems like he doesn't care. But for the most part, he's just trying to have fun to the point where he's just careless in his happiness. I guess I'm done rambling for now. But not that I want to admit that I really need people's attention and stuff. I really would love it if you come by, you see this, you think it's interesting, you have an opinion, a thought, or you just want to say hi. Please, at least leave a comment, say hi, do something, interact. It's fun. Let's communicate. Subscribing, notification bell, all that stuff's awesome too. But I want to hear from you. That's it for now. Till next time. Peace.